Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session. Tomasz are going to share our view on the future of shopping powered by AI. A brief introduction of me and my company, AiFi. So I got my PhD in AI and computer vision from Duke University, and I graduated from Stanford GSV. While young, I attended worldwide programming contests, winning championships and receiving recognition as one of the best programmers in the world. After working at Google and Apple as senior research scientist, I co-founded AiFi with the mission to bring ultimate efficiency and delight to shopping. I've been leading the team to push the frontiers of computer vision technology to automate all stores of the future. And I believe the best way to predict the future is to create it. So my company AiFi is enabling reliable, cost-effective, and entirely contactless autonomous shopping with AI-powered computer vision technology. And we provide an unrivaled shopping experience for retailers and consumers around the world. AiFi works with top global retailers such as Carrefour in France, Dollar General in the US, and of course with Żabka, where Tomasz has been leading the effort to create customized autonomous shopping experience. AiFi powers the world's largest hybrid convenience stores with Choice Market in Denver, Colorado as well, where customers can choose to check out autonomously or with a cashier. I'm going to pass it to Tomasz for a self-introduction of himself.
Hi everyone. Great. Well, I would say to see you, but I see only Ying. So great to be here. I'm Tomasz. I'm Executive Vice President at Żabka and Managing Director of Żabka Future Business Unit. Informally, I'm also known as Chief Future Officer of Żabka because I'm responsible for growth, technology, and innovation within the Żabka group. Before that, I was in more mundane role as a CFO, and I've met Ying a few years ago at Stanford, which we both are alumni of. And what is Żabka? Żabka is the largest convenience chain in Poland. We operate more than 7,200 stores at the moment. And what is typical of us, we're very dynamic. So last year we opened more than 1,000 stores, and this year we opened even more than 1,100 stores. We're visited by 2.5 million customers every day, and effectively we are probably one of the most, or if not the most innovative retailers in Poland and maybe even outside of Poland, with several different applications of AI, digital products that we have. For example, our digital app is used by more than 6 million Poles at the moment. And we are part of the embedded local culture. We're one of the largest and one of the most well-known companies in our country. Happy to be here again.
Thank you, Tomasz. And I heard that you are opening 1,000 new stores every year. That's really amazing.
Yes, we are opening more than 1,000 stores. We have a lot of white space potential. Our stores are small. They're very close to consumers. We're, focusing on the, very fast in and out shopping mission. An average shopping time in our store already takes only 106 seconds, and effectively a lot of good stuff here. But recently, yesterday, we opened a very special store, and I guess that's going to be part of our discussion today.
Awesome. And shopping impacts our life every day. What we eat and what we use all come from retail stores. And in fact, consumer spending makes up 2/3 of the economy. According to the statistics, 80% of shopping happens in physical store in both US and Europe. And this is 4 times bigger than e-commerce. And as a consumer myself, I always want the shopping in the store to be more efficient. For example, can I just grab and go without waiting in line to check out? I remember I spent 30 minutes to buy just 6 apples after work. And this is so time consuming. It happens to everyone. Americans spend 37 billion hours just waiting in line every year. This is equivalent to 1 week per year per person. I would really love to get 1 extra week every year. So Tomasz, Żabka has over 7,000 stores, as you mentioned. So what do you see as a major pain point of your customer?
Look, the way we approach our business is through shopping missions. So we want to really tailor our offering to the needs of the customers. And this is embedded in the approach through shopping missions. That means, the customers are shopping to shop for breakfast with us, for lunch, have a snack, maybe a party, and they come over. This is the way we kind of approach this. We do it all over our business so that the customers spend and this is maybe a bit unusual what you're going to hear, to spend as little amount of time possible in our store, because we believe that we are part of the, I would say, operating system for our consumer in their daily lives, and we want to free up the free time to our consumers. That's why we arranged the entire store as well as everything that is around it, so that the customer can do the shopping, so serve their mission as quickly as possible. As I mentioned before, it's currently 106 traditional stores, so we have maybe 60 square meters, 600 square foot type of store with 1 or 2 cashiers and 2,000 SKUs, 2,000 products. That's our traditional layout at the moment. And we are doing everything we can to make it faster, because we believe that customers spending time in our store is actually one of the biggest pain points. And within that, if we kind of try to go deeper into this 106 seconds, what do? Half of that time is actually the checkout process if there is no queue. And if there is a queue, obviously this 106 seconds goes to something even longer than that, and we don't want that. We want it to be fast and efficient. This is what we are synonymous in the market.
It's great to hear from you as a retail expert about the evolving consumer demand on convenience and efficiency. And we've seen the big wave of e-commerce thanks to its convenience. And we believe the next big wave is coming. So the advancement in AI is going to bring digital transformation to enable e-commerce level convenience and efficiency in physical stores and make it 10 times better. So in the past 2 years, Tomasz and I have been working on our autonomous stores with frictionless checkout. How can we reduce the checkout time, as Tomasz mentioned, 160 seconds to just 1 second or 0? And our first autonomous store with Żabka just launched yesterday. The store and the shopping journey looks amazing. Our AI system can track shoppers and products in the store and generate the receipts for customers automatically. So no more lines and no more checkout. Tomasz, would you like to share more about the shopping journey?
Yeah. So, we've been working on this store for the last 2 years, and there were a number of challenges, obviously, in many different aspects. But one prevailing target that we had was actually how to make the customer journey as smooth as possible. And the way we design the customer journey throughout the store is very, very simple. As I mentioned, we have our digital app as Żabka that is already downloaded by 6 million customers in Poland, so 6 million people already use it. And we have effectively embedded all the operations that are necessary from the customer standpoint within that app. So you just, as a customer, need to have the app, which a lot of people already have, come up to the store physically, get a QR code with one tap of the button, and then effectively with that QR code, this QR code unlocks the door to the store. And then when you come into the store, you pick the product that you want or products that you want, and then you leave. And that's it. You get a receipt. The shopping mission, if you do it without thinking about what you want, or if we thought before, takes literally 5 seconds, right? You can do your shopping within 5 seconds. There are several hundred of products inside the stores. They're typically food on the go, beverages, coffee, hot coffee. So you can make yourself a coffee in the store and leave with a hot coffee without anyone bothering you, really. And it's as simple as that. One of the customers that I was there, a few hours ago. One of the customers that walked out of the store couldn't imagine how smooth it is, right? There is nothing that blocks it, and this is something we've been working on quite a lot to actually get this done. But now it's there, and it's exciting.
That's awesome, and welcome to shop at our autonomous store. The autonomous store is fully powered by the AI we developed internally, And think about the store that has human vision intelligence, and every camera on the ceiling is like a human eye. And through those artificial eyes, the store can think by itself, understand where you are, what you are doing, what you are picking up, putting back. So it generates the receipts automatically for you at the end. Then this is technically as hard as self-driving car. Computer vision scientists have been spending the past 50 years to make this level of machine vision a reality. And we are building on top of the shoulder of the giants, and very proud to be able to achieve this accurately, affordably, and scalably. We call our AI-powered autonomous store operating platform Oasis. So it stands for Orchestrated Autonomous Store Infrastructure and Services. So similar to the operating system for phones, for example, Android, or the operating platform for computers such as Windows, our Oasis platform is also equipped with multi-layer intelligence, from the sensing part to the intelligence part, image processing part, and to the end of the shopping journey and operation layer. And it's flexible enough to support all shopping journeys to meet retailers' need. For example, we can support check-in at the entrance, currently at the store that we just opened with Żabka. And we can also support scanning the payment anytime during shopping to reduce the friction. And you've seen Tomasz talk about the app check-in in the store, and we can also support both cashier checkout and autonomous checkout happening simultaneously in one store. So customer can go through cashier checkout as usual, or they can opt in with app or credit card and enjoy the lightning speed of autonomous checkout. And we call it hybrid checkout experience. And this is what Tomasz and I also discussed before. So Tomasz really believes that hybrid checkout is the best way to meet the evolving consumer demand on frictionless and contactless shopping in existing stores without a sudden change of shopping journey. And getting this work in real life is incredibly hard in technology and operation, and we are the first one and so far the only one who has opened public store to make it. In what we intend this AI-powered Oasis platform to empower all smart stores of the future, hopefully all the Żabka stores, and finally we can fundamentally revolutionize the way people shop and the way stores operate. So Tomasz, after the launch of the first store, can you talk a bit more about your vision on how this autonomous store is going to scale and make impact? How long do you think it's going to happen?
Well, that's a great question. For this year, we plan to open another 29 stores, to have 30 by the end of the year. And we will test different type of locations, different types of assortment, and also different types of stores. We have standalone stores, which are called Nano. We have stores which are embedded in bigger buildings. And we are also going to be testing very tiny stores, even maybe 1 or 2 shelves, which we called, using physics language, pico and femto stores. So effectively very tiny, which can be placed, inside inside school, inside hospital, inside offices, if obviously that becomes popular, hopefully, again, at least partially, and they can, with that technology, the stores can be even closer to the customer. Really can be within the reach of any consumers, within a second away. I can imagine people. The store being 1 or 2 shelves in a corridor somewhere, and people, for example, in the office, and people freely coming in to pick up the goods, and they're being automatically charged without any barrier, any kind of any friction, so to say. So there are multiple ways on how to approach it. The beauty of that is that technology is inexpensive enough so that we can scale it. The break-even point is lower than a typical store, and that enables us to test many different solutions. Obviously, these are early days, but when I see a reaction of the customers, as well as how the technology works, it actually gives a lot of hope, in terms of the adoption.
That's awesome. So we can imagine the autonomous stores everywhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Tomasz, we talk a lot about the impact for the shoppers. Can you talk a bit about how does that impact your store operations?
Yeah, obviously, we had to redesign completely the all the operational processes around the store. With checkout, which typically takes 70% of the time, being taken out from the equation, there is more focus on replenishment, more focus on cleanliness of the store, and all the processes around the store are completely different. That actually took a surprising amount of time to design, because this is something that not many companies. Well, this is something new generally, right? And we approached it with a clean sheet of paper, so to say. So that we didn't adopt the existing processes. We designed completely new processes around all of that. We're of course still learning, but it's encouraging to see how we can completely change around the way the company works in a way, right? With that store model. There are, we have electronic price tags in the store as well. So we can change the price at the time at any time that we want. We are thinking about tailoring assortment through machine learning to specific location, and this is something that we already do in our traditional stores as well. But even to the larger extent, so that we can physically enlarge the store in a way, because it's going to be more tailor-made to the local consumers. And it's quite a lot of work, I have to say. Not only the technology that is challenging, but also a lot of different aspects around that. But it's fun.
That's great. So you talked about how the autonomous store can simplify the store operation, for example, helping the shelf compliance or shelf inventory level detections, etc. And how do you vision that this type of operation is gonna, like, besides the store operations? I remember you talked about something like, what if people spill coffee inside the store? How do you see that it's going to simplify the process?
Yeah, the beauty of the system that AiFi has developed is that it's not only, it doesn't have to be applied, or it isn't applied only for checkout, right? It's applied for planogram compliance, for out of stock, I would say, out of stock compliance. So effectively, if there are goods on shelves or not, and it can be more broadly, it can be applied generally to manage the stores, right? Typically, the way retail companies works, they have certain processes, right? At 5 p.m. you do, as operations, you do this kind of process. At 6 p.m. you do that. With use of deep learning models and cameras, you can effectively make that flexible and do it only on a needed basis, and that means that you can gain additional flexibility and efficiency from that kind of systems.
Yeah, definitely, and we're aiming for a much more scalable store operations. And I know in many countries in Europe that there's a label law that you cannot open the store during the weekend, and we hope that autonomous checkout technology is going to make the store available during the weekend for everybody as well.
What is interesting, is that we started to have discussions with the city councils, and city councils see these kind of stores, which are embedded as part of the city infrastructure. I can, they, for example, one of the ideas is to place these kind of very tiny stores in city parks, so that people can get the products that they need, for park, or on a tram stops or bus stops, as part of being part of it. So there are multiple ideas on new, effectively on new use and effectively new kind of landscape, city landscape with this kind of technology, especially if we combine it with ESG and ecology, right?
Yeah, that's really great. And it seems like the future of the retail store is going to become a gigantic intelligent robot that's able to perceive, analyze, and plan by itself. Tomasz mentioned about using the data and AI to increase the store revenue every year. And can you share a bit more about how do you make it so successful? Because this is what I've never seen in many of the retailers.
Yeah, look, I mean, the beauty of being a relatively large retailer, at least for Polish standard, is the fact that we have plenty of data that comes every second, right? And effectively, what we have, a few years ago embarked on is on effective use of this data through creation of machine learning models in majority of aspects of our operations. So, for example, the way we determine the location of the new store is based on machine learning models, which analyzes hundreds of different parameters for every single store. The way we tailor assortment to new stores is through use of the data. And there are a number of other examples, in transportation, logistics, etc., where we use data to effectively optimize. As you know, retail is a business that's relatively low margin, but effectively, and there are thousands of different small parameters that impact the profitability. So the data and AI, effectively, or machine learning, is a great new tool that enables you to get a little bit more. And what nano stores or what this kind of technology gives you is another layer of data that is completely unavailable to brick and mortar retailers, or has been so far. And you can draw many different conclusions, obviously being fully compliant with respectable laws, GDPR in our case, from that to enhance the offering, make it more personalized, make it better for the consumers. This is actually something that we only start thinking about, but I believe going forward that would actually be an interesting, an important part of that proposition around this kind of technology.
Yeah, and the data is actually one very important part, because if you look at e-commerce websites, one of the biggest advantage is the e-commerce website can track how you make the final purchasing decision, how you navigate through the website. And this has never been seen or available in the physical store before. But with the autonomous store operating platform, we can collect a huge amount of shopping behavior data, like Tomasz mentioned. We can understand how you navigate inside the store, just like e-commerce platform, how you make your final purchase decision. Did you pick up Coke or Pepsi and finally choose one, or perhaps didn't pick up anything at the end? And all this data can make the online and offline shopping more personalized and customized, and again, all powered by AI. And there are a couple more applications that Tomasz and I have been brainstorming as well. For example, how can we make the dynamic pricing available in the offline store, just like e-commerce, but it's based on your location. So we are using the autonomous store platform. We can track in real time where you are, where are you moving towards. So based on that location, how can we drive a better personalization, recommending you, there is your favorite yogurt brand that's just close by you, for example. And how can we help you navigate inside the store? Because many times when I go to the supermarket, a lot of times I couldn't find the direction. and this is where autonomous store can be very helpful as well. We are able to understand where are each items inside the store, and how can we give you the optimal path to finish your shopping list, etc. So all these applications will be wonderful and make the shopping much more convenient and efficient. And at the end, what we see is AI-powered autonomous stores are going to not only revolutionize 80% of total shopping inside the physical store, but also create this ultimate omni-channel shopping experience with unprecedented convenience and efficiency. And eventually we can realize the real digitization of all the stores. And Tomasz, any takeaway that you want to share with the audience?
Well, first of all, if you happen to be in Poznań and soon with in a few other cities in Warsaw, I very much welcome you to experience the Żabka store, the auto checkout Żabka store. That is something that a lot of customers are raving about after using. And secondly, retail has historically been impacted by e-commerce revolution. I mean, brick and mortar retail. But what we see now, and this is what we are looking forward to, is that in many verticals, including ourselves, the way forward is digital. So combination of physical and digital. There is no way of doing something, all the missions purely digitally. Some missions, such as impulse mission, on the way, on the go, will remain physical. And we are effectively preparing to serve these missions, in the next 5, 10, 15 years, perhaps in a slightly different way than historically. And NanoStore is part of that revolution, I would say.
This is awesome. Any question from the audience? So I saw this question regarding the biometrics and the retina scanning. So the question is, at what point will biometrics, retina scanning be integrated into this frictionless shopping experience or omni-channels? That's a great question. I can share a bit more about our experience. So far what I can see is it's already happening. So one of the stores that we've been working with, one of the largest retailers in the world, is already equipped with facial recognition checkout. And what I can see is as more and more biometric ways coming into our life, for example, scanning using your palm, etc. This is going to be the future of the shopping, as long as it brings people convenience, efficiency, and you don't need to bring your phone anymore, bring any card with you to shop.
Look, honestly, I think that's probably the technology is the least of problems here with retina or biometrics. I think the technology is there. I've seen it being deployed, even in Poland, actually, and by Polish companies. The question is adoption from the customer, right? When the customers are going to be ready to adopt these technologies on a massive scale. And then, to answer that question is probably what are the benefits of retina and biometrics vis-a-vis other available methods of payment, which can be a phone, can be a watch, etc., which are a bit, I would say, less personal, right? Than getting your eye or maybe the chip in your hand scanned. So I'll leave it. I think to summarize, I think technology is there. The question is whether this will become mainstream and thought from the customer standpoint.
Great. And another question we got is, how do you think the physical and online grocery shopping will look like in 10 years? So Tomasz, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, I don't have it here, but I have my crystal ball somewhere here in my office. I mean, that's a gift from the employees. But saying jokes aside, I think, well, you've seen what's been happening, especially over the last several years, especially last year with COVID. I mean, e-commerce has been gaining a lot of weight in the in all the verticals. And at an accelerated pace. The people say that COVID has accelerated growth of e-commerce by 5 years in 1 year or even more. So that's not going to change, right? So we'll see increased adoption of e-commerce in most of the other verticals, most of the verticals, so to say, right? And if I look at my kids who are 7 and 10, and they are digital natives, obviously these kind of customers, when they enter their adult lives and they become consumers, they would probably have a strong preference towards the digital format. So in a way, I can see digital continue gaining the way in the considerable amount of time. Now, what about physical? You say, and if I look at our business, average ticket is around €3. 80% of products that we sell is for immediate consumption. So, people are buying stuff and eating or drinking or consuming afterward. Then I see, that obviously that's going to be affected too. But generally, I see that kind of missions from the consumer a little bit more protected, because this is something that you don't plan. You buy on the whim. And on average, you spend 5 times. Obviously, rapid delivery e-commerce is growing, and we're also working on that part. But I believe there will be some verticals that will be more protected. On one hand, it's the ultimate convenience and fast missions. On the other hand, is probably the retail that is more personalized, more tailored about experience. So I would say these are the two ends of the spectrum, and everything in between will be much more massively digitized. And if you think about our stores, we sell our products, but we also have machines. We have machines in which you can get your parcels that you order from online, right? It's an automated machine. Effectively, you order from Amazon, and then you pick up the Żabka store, which is typically on your way or where you live. And you can pick up that kind of goods, and there is like an ecosystem that was evolved and created between the digital and physical.
That's really awesome, and looking forward to the future of shopping at Żabka. And so, as Tomasz already mentioned, that what we envision is in the future, the online and offline is going to be similarly blended together. That's what we call omni-channel shopping experience. And the key to connect them is the data and personalization. All your shopping behavior data can help drive a better recommendation for your online shopping as well. And your online shopping is going to help the offline shopping and helping the retailers to be able to optimize their assortments or a better pricing for you. And think about in the future, if you are a member of the autonomous checkout, and what you can get is we can automatically give you the coupons. We can tell you if you like Coke, we can tell you, or if you buy 2, you can get 1 for free, for example. And that could help you automatically save a lot of money. So we're getting to the end of the presentation. Potentially, I'll take just one more question. So one of the audience asked, how do you reassure customers that their data and privacy will be used in an ethical way? Tomasz, you want to go first?
Yeah, let me start. So first of all, we obviously take the customer data and privacy at utmost seriousness and on a highest potential level, right? This is something the trust that consumers put in shopping with us is super important to us. That's why the way we design these systems is that they are, I would say, compared to your typical browsing through internet, they're much more secure than that. And happy to give the mic back to Ying to share some of that. But effectively, we take it super seriously. We do not record a lot of different things. These are not being stored. And obviously we have highest level of security that we put in place, and obviously are ahead even of GDPR requirements. But Ying, if you can add to that.
Sure. And Tomasz talked about the GDPR compliance. In fact, we are the very first one who launched the autonomous store in Europe that complies with GDPR, which is GDPR friendly. So we've been always paying attention to the privacy issues, and we store all the customer data in a very safe way. For example, this is a combined shopping experience together with retailer, especially for the personalized data. For example, we currently use AI to automate all this process, all the processings. And for example, one of the store that we launched in France, and we never send out any data, any customer shopping data out of the store. So all these processings are computed at the edge inside the store. And even if there are some customer shopping behaviors, we will blur all the face of the person or even the entire body. And we can send only the less sensitive data for retailers. For example, which item did you pick up? And what is the trajectory inside the store? How did you navigate? Did you stay in front of the gondola, in front of the shelf? looking at the yogurt, but didn't pick up anything, that might indicate that the assortment can be optimized in the future. So all those are the less sensitive data. But as we move forward, we do see there will be more and more security that could be added into the area. So we could enable a bigger amount of shopping behavior data to drive the better personalization, just like e-commerce.